This is the reason why you're not gonna get a girl for a long time, all right? Very long time. Here it is. Two reasons. Either you're too soft, or either you're too fast or too rough, right? To yourself or to others. The thing with this whole love thing is, if being too hard, being too soft can be good for like career purposes, for education. Like, you can definitely get master's degree, PhD, college diploma like this, no problems with these techniques, right? But when it comes to love and relationship and getting laid and all that, right, it's not gonna work, because on those in these topics, it needs to be like a feather, and a lot of people struggle on this feather technology because it's a very light touch, you know, it's a very light touch, it's a very light sensation stuff, right? A lot of us, we cannot do that. Like, let's say if you're like if you're military veterans, you're based on what you do, if you're drivers, if you're truck drivers, sometimes you're in the hustle culture. If you're coming out from a hustle culture, getting a woman can be very difficult because you're always hustling, and your culture, your DNA kind of convert like that. You can still maintain it. You work so hard that it's been so long, it's been 10 years, 20 years, you're single. They don't like the whole roughness on you. People don't like the roughness on you. Now, if you're not a hustle culture, if you're just playing video games or if you're doing other stuff, they're still not gonna be compatible with you because you're too soft for the whole thing. You know, it's just not matching up, you get it? So you have to be very feather, you gotta balance it. 80 to 90% of guys struggles on the balancing of what am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? What am I doing right now? That calibration, they always miss that out, right? They just keep going with the flow, and they don't monitor or calibrate what they're doing at this moment, right? And this is where things get really tough, right? You need to be always checking, what am I doing? If it's worth of my time, how I'm talking, if I'm talking too much, if I'm listening too much, or if I'm committing too much. Like, a lot of people just go constantly, and they don't calibrate themselves. And I don't know how you can even communicate or do anything without self-auditing yourself. Like, you gotta do that, you know, otherwise who gonna tell you? Your parents gonna tell you, your friends gonna tell you that, hey, you're doing this too much or doing that too much, all right? So you gotta like calibrate that. You gotta be at least toward the feather technology. That's where most people struggles, right? Now, the rich people, they have the calibration constantly going, that, hey, if you're gonna ask me the second questions, I'm not gonna keep speaking. Whatever you ask, I'm only gonna answer you this segment. I'm not gonna answer you the rest segment, right? So they measure every talk by talk. If they talk too much, they know that they're gonna be losing a lot of value, right? That's why you send them to consultations, you get it? So with the relationship and with the girls, you gotta do the same thing, that whatever the role you have to play, just play that role. Don't talk too much, don't say too much. It's only gonna lose you. And it cannot be too much or it cannot be too less, right? It had to be very feather. It's a feather level, right? It's a very light, you know, it's a very light chemistry. It cannot be too rough, it cannot be too soft. Then you'll make it.